some of the more important pairs and so on. Very tough week for me personally. From the point of perspective, I've been on the wrong side pretty much for the whole week. I'm dead flat on the market, and like the only couple of good trade ideas that I had, ended up stopping me out at break even and going in my direction, which is, a bit depressing. But this is the way it is. That is. I don't like playing with big stop losses. I prefer to play with very small stop losses in the 15 to 20 pip range. So I am used to getting stopped quite often and sometimes, missing the move and stuff like that. Now I'm going to do a quick poll on which pair you guys want me to cover first. I haven't done this in a while, but since today is a free webinar, we have, uh, I would like to do the poll. Okay, I'm doing a poll, guys. Cigarello. Actually, a cigar. That is a cigar. This is like a small cigar, not a cigarello. I got a bit like I feel mentally tired, so I am a bit frustrated with myself. I feel like a total moron. I need to have a smoke. Wow, come on. The Cuban stuff doesn't count. I can promise you, I'm never going to stop smoking cigars. That is that is a promise. It is impossible for me to stop smoking cigars. Trust me. Well, okay, there's no such thing as impossible, but rather I don't want to do it. I honestly love smoking cigars. I love the Cuban tobacco. Of course, I try to limit them. Uh, I would like to ask everybody to vote on which pair they would like me to cover first. Now we have the majority of votes on the euro dollar. I haven't smoked a single cigarette in 3 weeks, or like whenever I started. So okay, one more vote and I'm going to conclude because if the next vote goes to the euro dollar, there's no chance for any other pair to get any interest. It being first. Come on, one more vote, guys. Uh, okay, now we need one more vote. Peter, can you please just give a random answer or Lucas or whatever, because you guys haven't voted. Okay, I'm starting with the euro dollar. The majority of votes in the euro dollar. Okay, I don't get why these bugs. Something very weird happens. Can everybody see my screen now? Okay, good stuff. I'm going to start with euro dollar again. This thing should be going up now. I am expecting the day to finish around the 1.322 mark. Uh, and of course, the pound is probably going to punch like a motherfucker now because the euro pound got into. Uh, I actually have a confession to make. I am kind of short the pound, but it's not very good. In reality, the thing is, I forgot to fix my stops, so I never got stopped in the first place. But consider this a stop loss. So this entry is still getting respect. So the thing is, on the euro dollar, I think that the euro dollar could actually grind up now because first we have the fractal repetition. Second, euro pound is in its next in the series. It is in the next in the series longs. So we will see. The thing is, the importance right now in the euro dollar and the moves in the euro dollar are, in my opinion, very much dependent on what the crosses do. The euro dollar movement, while of course very freaking important, you can see, guys, that for the past couple of days we've been seeing pretty big weakness in the euro dollar, while at the same time we have been seeing strength in the Aussie dollar, in the Kiwi dollar, I think even in the pound dollar. So this pretty much means to me that, again, as always, the whole move in the euro dollar is largely dictated by what these crosses, which have been gathering stops for, ages. Gathering stop for ages. You have such a huge congestion in stocks in the euro yen, in the dollar yen, in pretty much all those big things. Are getting unwinded. So a big reason for me in the euro dollar strength is just that winding going on in the crosses. Now I can even see that my euro yen wonk is currently up around 40 pips, I think. Let me check. Nope, 35 pips. So the euro yen going up as well, like euro dollar getting a bit. Now what I wanted to point out, guys, okay, I'm just going to do this. This is a megaphone. This is what people on Twitter call this a megaphone. Last Friday we had a megaphone as well. Now, guys, I want you to check this. The low last week. Okay, let's pull out the calendar. Friday last week was the 15th, right? So the low that we made last week was made on Friday the 15th at 12:15 GMT. Actually, you can even make a case 8:30 GMT, but okay, let's go at 12:30 GMT. 12:30 GMT. This week, the 22nd, Friday, we made a low on the LTRO announcement at 11 GMT. Now, do I need to, and we have the same pattern forming, do I need to actually, explain the implications of this? This is a fractal repetition for right now, and like pretty much like one of the safest things that, in my opinion, could have been done was to buy uh, this dip over here, and I did say that I am anticipating, a move back towards the highs to subscribers over the Skype. Over Skype. I mean, I didn't buy it because I just decided that I'm not really going to trade anymore today. I need some rest, I think. So I'm just going to stick to this. Unless I see something incredible, I am not going to be trading anymore today. What I wanted to point out is that if this is a fractal repetition, I would expect a close around where, the LTRO announcement high was, which is over here, the 1.322s. Now, again, let's just look over here. Now, I want to make sure everybody can see the similarity between these two. Can everybody see the similarity between last Friday and this Friday? I mean, it is extremely obvious, but just want to make sure that everybody knows what I'm talking about. Now, my views are, and Just said no. Just what is unclear about the similarities between the two, last Friday and this Friday? Would you care to reiterate? SK being funny as always. But just can you please reiterate on what you mean by saying no? What why can't you see the similarities, like, so I can cover it? What is unclear? The shape doesn't. It's not only about the shape. The shape, in my opinion, is 100% the same. Uh, and the thing that actually is the same is the timing of the candles. That is the thing that is actually the same, and this is the important part. The lows over here, these spikes were pretty much during the same time that these things occurred, and this is pretty much why, for me, this is very important. Uh, and in the end of the day, a pattern is a pattern. You're not going to say 100%. You're not going to see the 100% same fractal price action, in my opinion. It's unrealistic to expect when you have fractals absolute exact repetition. In the end of the day, you have absolutely the same patterns here and here. The difference is that over here, like you can see that this was a bit of a congestion, over here, and instead we had a clear move to the upside and then a move to the downside. But when you actually move to the timing, when these candles occurred, these highs, these lows occurred, that is actually the thing that, in my opinion, is a bit important. This high over here occurred at 6:30 a.m. GMT last week, and it pretty much, held for quite a while. This guy over here, occurred at 9:30, like it is pretty much that one done, and this low occurred at 12 pretty much. This low occurred also pretty much at 12, 11:15, okay, because that is when the LTRO announcement was. And this is, in my opinion, what actually makes it fractal, because algorithms are sticking to the same idea as they did last week, selling and buying. No, just that is not actually a downfall. That is, I think, something you should consider yourself as a plus, as a benefit to your trading style, because the more disciplined you are in the way you look, the less mistakes you are going to make. The thing is, like when it comes to patterns, fractals are not really, in my opinion, something to consider as patterns. That is why, people that follow me, they know that I am very strict on the patterns I trade. Uh, but in this case, there are just many things that tell me that the situation is very similar. Now, I am going to cover these things. Now, first we have the halfway back. Now, guys, we have a trend line over here, right? And we had a trend line over here, and this led to a move to this channel to the upside. Okay, I am now going to cover why this is extremely similar. Maybe I should move to a 4-hour chart. Not maybe, I should certainly move to a 4-hour chart. If we connect the trend line from these lows to these lows, now we are at the bottom of this trend line, pretty much. For some reason, I had it drawn much better overnight. Maybe because I had it on a daily, I'm not sure. Let me check. Okay, let's move to the daily. Actually, the daily looked much better. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is the daily trend line. I got it correct. So pretty much, we also have this thing going on for us. We are into a larger long setup. We are again in a trend line rejection from where this megaphone is occurring. It's pretty much a trend line. Also, the halfway back from the 1.6266 is over here. So what I'm thinking, is probably we are going to have a move to the upside from here to the 1.33 mark, which is going to serve as an entry probably for shorts. Now, I'm covering the things that we have as like similarities to what occurred last week. Now, there are several other reasons why I am bullish here. First, we have a butterfly, which like, okay. I think this was it. I actually have to check because I could be. I actually am not placing too much on this butterfly because there is another pattern I prefer more. I have to check where the extensions are. Which one? Which one was the 1.272? Okay. Yeah, so it is the lower one actually, or is it this one? No, it's this one. Not perfect, but it is there. Yes. Okay, one second, guys. Sorry. Oh, yeah. So it is like this, pretty much. Oh no, it is like this. Sorry. Yep. Exactly at the 127.2 extension and the halfway back. So we have this, awkward little butterfly over here. I'm sure everybody can see it. I'm trying to actually, like, let me get rid of some of the stuff on this chart because this looks just like a bit too much. So we have a butterfly. I don't like that butterfly too much because I think it looks just ugly, and I don't like trading patterns that look ugly. However, there is this Gartley, not a perfect Gartley in any means, by the way, but it is here with a perfect A equals C trading. It should be mentioned that the low that we made was a perfect A equals C and a perfect 78.6% extension of the lows from over here. So we have this Gartley as well. Uh, there are several bullish patterns over here, and I think that the chances are good. Now I'm not saying anything like new highs, that is overstretching it quite a bit, but because when it comes to new highs, I am anticipating the new highs to come from lower. What I'm thinking is that there is enough information to anticipate a decent move to the upside from here. Now, actually, let me move to a new chart on euro dollar. Let me see if I can. Okay. This is the prior Garter we had from a similar setup, worked very well, the one over here. Now let me just make this look a bit better. Let's use a chart on which we don't have too much shit. Okay. The only problem with this Gartley is that the problem is that the BC extension is just no good. The BC extension is way above the point it has to be. So actually, you guys can see this order that I have at the 1.3086. I think that this is going to turn into a bullish bat. I have covered this several times, but just for this is pretty much perfect, Gartley, from the point of perspective of perfect AB equals CD. What is not perfect is the fact that the C point is no good, and the B point is no good. So the B point has to be 61.8. Okay, the C point would have been fine if the B point was 61.8. However, the reason why I like this is because the AB equals CD is relatively good. This aligns with the halfway back long, the one that I showed from before. So I think this might get some participation, but the real pattern I'm looking for it is this bat, which is, by the way, this is a perfect bat. If we trade the bat is perfect. Okay, let me move to the bat. I've covered this for subscribers, but you know, like today is the free webinar, so I'm just going to outline this for everybody. Okay, this is the bat, you know, so something like this sometime next week, maybe into the end of the week. I'm not sure how it's going to work. The reason why I actually like this, first 1.308 to 1.306 have been very important levels, and second, if I do the BC extension, guys, the 1.2618 is exactly where it has to be at the potential reversal zone. So this is a very good potential reversal zone with a 61.8 line of a halfway back long and a bullish bat. And I'm seeing the Justice typing, so I'm just waiting for him to see what he has to say. Now, what I'm thinking is, let me just move to the euro dollar. Because the timing is getting a bit awkward and just this type of ranges are, how can I say it? They can be tough, you know. I am thinking that we could actually have something like this into next week. And then a punch over here, something like this, very awkward little play among in the range with sharp bounce to the upside from that level. Of course, we can just go straight to that level. That is also a possibility. That is why, you know, I said this. I'm not already. Correlations have been broken for quite a while between S&P and you know, all that stuff. The Dixie is not a good indicator, in my opinion, of what the US dollar is doing because it weights the euro as 50%. So I prefer using alternative dollar indices as measures of what the US dollar is doing. I have been talking about this. People that you've been following for, you know, over a year and so know that I have been saying that I anticipate a strong euro and a strong dollar, which pretty much means I anticipate a strong euro dollar, strong euro crosses, and the dollar to be strong against commodities, because I believe the commodities are the biggest freaking bubble on earth. I've been saying that I am extremely bearish on gold. I am anticipating gold to go at least to the 1400s. I've been getting a lot of heat for that call, but right now it looks like I'm going to be right. Even I actually had like a very, because one of my best friends, he is a trader. We even had a conflict because I've been yelling to him not to buy gold. The guy didn't listen to me. He's burned quite heavily now because he's been buying like crazy from 1600s, 1700s, 1800s. He's probably down quite a bit. He can probably buy a car with the amount that he's down right now. Anyways, that's a different story. So we actually had a very strong argument about that. So my point is pretty much that I am anticipating that the US dollar is going to remain very well bid against commodity currencies, against the pound, even against the yen, and just against the euro. I can't make too much of a case for that thing to remain that strong. We'll see. I'm going to reiterate what I mean is, again, this is a free webinar, so I'm going to go into a bit more detail than usual. Subscribers are very familiar with this. This is, okay, let me just remove this entry order because it is in the way. Now, this is, oh, guys, what you're seeing over here is the weekly bullish triangle on the euro dollar. It's probably going to take like 10 years to develop. This is a long way from actually happening. I have been saying that we are now repeating fractally, the year 2010. Since 2010, we have had the upside and the downside in the harmonic tree drive pattern. In 2010, we had this curve, we had the second leg of the tree drive pattern, stop at the 161.8 extension, then trade a full halfway back, and then trade its third leg and then reject sharply from the third leg into the 127.2 extension. We then had a downside occur into three 127.2 extensions, which means that this leg, the second leg, okay, this second leg of the tree was 1.72, and the third leg was also the 1.72 extension. You can check this on your own. I'm not going to cover it. I've spoken about this plenty of times, so I don't believe that there is the need for me to repeat myself. So now let us move to what we have over here. We have now completed two legs of what I think is going to be another fractal repetition of the past couple of years with this upside occurring in a tree drive. This upside is currently posing at the 144 extension of the leg 1. This is the 144 extension. Actually, let me guys. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me remove the halfway back. So this is the 144 extension of the first leg. This is where we are rejecting. And now we are doing a fractal repetition of 2010, and we are probably going to pull into all the way halfway back long. All the way halfway back long is at 1.289. This is over here, 2010. And if this happens, the all the way halfway back long and the 1.44 extension have the same price target. Can you guys see this? The full halfway back long, the full halfway back long, the full halfway back long, and the 144 extension of the second leg of this tree drive have the same price target to the upside, and they are lining at the top of this triangle. Is this clear, guys? This is on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame. This is the reason why I would say that I assign like over 90% probability that we are going to trade 1.4 by the middle of the year and reject sharply from there. Is this clear, guys? Can you see the fractal repetition? Can you see the fractal repetition with 2010? Just check this. Inverted head and shoulders, guys. Guess what happened? We traded the inverted head and shoulders and a full halfway back long. So right now this is looking like we are going to trade a full halfway back long over here and the neckline of this huge inverted head and shoulders and go to the upside to the 1.418 to the 1.41 mark. I don't care about what fundamentalists have to say about this. I assign over 90% probability of the euro dollar going to 1.41 by the end of the second quarter. Why by the end of the second quarter? Because you guys can see that in 2010 this upside was extremely sharp. This upside, I don't remember what was the catalyst. This upside came from the announcement of QE2. This high was marked by QE2. Then we had downside. So this upside, I don't remember what it came from. Honestly, no idea what it came from. I don't remember it. But this upside occurred in just 2-3 months. So like if this downside finishes by the start of March, uh, this should complete by May. This triangle should complete by May, and we should be looking for potential of a move back to the 1.2s into the end of the year. Now this is overstretching it quite a bit because like trying to there is a saying, a very wise guy said, a very good trader as well, said you should either say what is going to happen or when it is going to happen, but never both. So I'm trying to do both at the moment, which is a big mistake. But I just want to make sure you guys see the similarities. Jazzy's typing again. Okay, never mind. Nah, I don't remember. Um, Is this clear what I just said on the euro dollar? Lucas, I'm sure that you should find this particularly interesting since you trade a lot on harmonics. Guys, I would like you to take the time and just type in the chat if everything I've said on the euro dollar is clear. And also would like to ask you to take the time to ask questions if you have any. So right now, for me, the question is, where is the euro dollar going to reject from? Is it going to be over here, the 1.318 mark, or is it going to be the 1.288 mark? That is the only question I have in mind right now. Where are we going to reject from? I am not doubting my views of further upside for a single second. So I am going to look to get long the euro dollar probably early next week. If I get filled on this pattern that I showed you, that would be the perfect scenario. You cannot get any better than this. If I don't get filled, I would look to buy into early Monday. So here's everything that I said on the euro dollar. You know, like it's everything that I've said on the euro dollar. Clear? Do you have any questions? It doesn't seem like there are any questions. Okay, there are no questions, so I am going to move to okay, I'm going to move to the euro yen. Okay, guys, the euro yen is doing a bit of an awkward fractal repetition of what it has done before. Again, we are rejecting from the 1.113 extension and the bottom. Now, this could potentially be, I mean, I have a bit of a hard time to believe that this is a bullish triangle right now because I am failing to see the euro dollar get the proper bid it should get from a level like 1.318. But you know, like this is not concrete. It could still happen. But we are doing, and this has to be given quite a bit of respect, a fractal repetition of before. You can see where the A wave completed was the 1.13 extension of this leg, this XA leg over here, then the C point completed of the XA extension of the B leg, and what currently looks to be the E wave might have potentially completed at again the 1.113 extension. This was a alternate bat, bullish alternate bat. This was a bullish shark. This is an unknown pattern. No, this is probably a shark. This is probably a shark. Anyways, the implications right now on on the pound, on the euro yen, is for this thing to move to 1.25. I am long and I'm riskless on this thing. Uh, that means that I don't care, you know, if I get stopped or not. What I'm not liking is that this is not getting decent upside. Now, the fact this is not getting upside is making back the question if we are not just in a very clear series of shorts. We are probably in a series of extension shorts right now. This has traded several times and it is getting participation. So if this is the case, we are going to be looking for more downside. I have decided to pick a side. I have decided to pick the long side over here for the fractal repetition. However, the thing is that unlike before, you guys can see we're not really seeing the strong bit from these levels, uh, or rather we potentially saw it in the morning, but it didn't get stained. So if the euro yen is going to grind higher, we are probably going to need the dollar yen to do something extremely silly to the upside. I am sticking to the long side, but the shorts are extremely valid. The shorts are extremely valid on the euro yen. So this should be indeed remembered. Um, as you can see, it's having trouble even beating its most immediate short. The short, I think, drawn from the okay, this one it broke, but it is into a full halfway back short from the morning high. Yeah, you guys can see. Until it breaks this short, we are probably going to be seeing more downside, So I have chosen the side I want to be. I want to be on the long side because I just believe the risk reward is better, because I am a swing trader. I want to get in the move for the 400-500 pips. I'm not that interested in the 50, 60 pips moves. Uh, for example, right now I am a bit tired because of this, because all week I've been getting stopped out for break even. Haven't had I had a couple of trades that were running decent profits, and in the end ended up getting stopped out. So in times like this, it is a bit tiring for me, but this is the way I trade, and this is yeah, the entire pattern looks like a fourth wave. I am without a question without a question, am I expecting new highs to be made in the euro yen? This is seriously not a matter of a question over here for me. Now, we will see what happens if this is the case, and this is bottom information. This is a different case, and the lack of fractal repetition is going to make sense. However, given the fact that the euro dollar is really not getting any bid at all, I'm not sure that this is going to play out. I mean, I don't know. I'm a bit dubious of how this is going to play out, but this is a very clear fourth way just by the frustration in it. This is the typical fourth way frustrating, as frustrating as it gets. Um, so this pretty much on the euro yen. There is potentially a larger halfway back long that we are trading drawn from this anchor. Alexander, for example, is looking for this anchor, the one over here, or for a much bigger retracement, which is from this extension long over here, which means a drop all the way to the 120s. I can make a case for this actually, and I would be buying the 120s pretty heavily if this happens. But right now, I believe that it's considerably better to try to buy the dips, even if that means getting stopped out quite a lot for break even. Because as long as you can identify good levels of support where you can get free, it really is no problem. Now, that is, of course, based on the fact that I am a swing trader. So, this has a lot to do. Now, a break of this slack should probably mean a pretty sharp move to the downside. And maybe I am even going to short the break of this slack. This will remain to be seen. I don't want to jump just yet. So this is actually turning out to be pretty important level over here. The 1.113 extension and the 122.5s. More remains to be seen. I can make a case for both sides of the coin. I favor personally the upside, but the downside is also extremely valid. On the pound, now I'm going to move on. Actually, any questions on the euro yen? The pound is a nasty little bugger. That is all I have to say. Nasty little bugger. Getting in the right entry is going to be a pain, but that's how it is. Um, we are still holding. we are still holding this extension short. This extension short is a result of this short trading before. So we are, because we pulled into new extensions, this is potentially a valid anchor. Now you can see that this short actually made shorts free several times, as a matter of fact. No, not several times. It made them free once and probably is going to make shorts free for a second time now. I have no faith in any upside in the pound. I am looking to get heavily short over here. Uh, I think that there is quite a bit of more downside to come. Now, if we break these extensions, like this clear series of extension shorts that we have, we are probably going to go all the way up to the 1.57s, to trade a larger short setup. So right now, my focus is on this short. We will see how it goes. Awkwardly, we are seeing some participation from extension longs drawn from this anchor. So there is participation on both sides of the coin over here. You can see this got participation yesterday. Traded to target over here. Now it is retrading the same extension long. This extension long, we will see what it does. The wave structure, very awkward little wave structure, but I don't care particularly about that. I am thinking that we should be seeing more downside on the pound, and I have to say that we are holding this short level right now. We are holding this short level until this short level breaks. I really I don't know, like I can't make a case for a larger run in the pound. Certainly wonks are finding some participation, but you guys can see yourselves how every single run is getting stopped by a low over here. You can see that this also was resistance before. This was resistance early this week. So we will see if we see a repetition like this. I have to keep in mind, of course, that the pound is quite oversold to this point. Still, this is a pretty much 200 pip correction. So this should give fuel, for further downside. Should be enough for further downside. We will see, of course. I'm not. What I'm going to say is that I am, and this is what I said in the evening briefing yesterday, I will remain bearish on the pound as long as we are under the 1.5336 mark. It is a nasty little burger. Every market that gets overextended, such as the yen, such as the euro dollar, such as all those things, they tend to become nasty because they are just overextended. So getting back into the trend is usually the hardest thing, but once you get into the trend, it is very rewarding. Like right now, this short has a target of 300 pips, which is pretty awesome, So we'll see how this goes. Any questions on the pound? There is not much to cover in terms of patterns. There is not much to cover at all on the pound outside of this extension short that we are holding. So I'm guessing no questions on the pound. I am going to then move to, let me check where was my chart on the dollar yen. A pretty decent chart on the dollar yen. Yep, that's it. So the dollar yen right now, clear 5-wave rally from over here, and it is now doing some sort of a correction. It is either a completed ABC over here, or this is a triangle that we are starting. So potential for some range trade over here. or of course now the equality target of if this is just equal a wave and not a triangle. The equality target is going to be into 91.8. All I have to say is, regardless of how I view the yen, it is in the long term and in the medium term bullish. We are holding its daily setup, you know. We are into the daily wonk. We are into a larger daily wonk into which we are into a range. So this means that the safe entry into the yen is at the 92.1s against the 91.4s. That is the safe entry on the dollar yen, but it is certainly bullish. Within this range, I think that we could actually, this would make perfect sense, to be quite frank, to be making a bullish symmetrical triangle. It makes perfect sense from the point of perspective that triangles, once they break, are very aggressive, and I am anticipating an aggressive move into the 97.4s. I don't see anything, absolutely anything, that can stop the dollar yen before 97s, 97.4s. Absolutely nothing that can stop the dollar yen before 97.4. But that is my opinion, and the wave structure is relatively clear. We will see how it develops. Right now, bets are for triangle that is completing or is about to complete. If this doesn't hold, we are going to see a move like this. These are two ways, the two types of structures that I see. But regardless of how I view it, this thing is pretty bullish. This is also bullish Gartley over here. This thing over here. So I don't know. Like personally, I'm bullish at OEM. A diamond? Sure, yeah, I can make a case if it is a diamond. Well, I can see what you mean, but I guess it depends how you draw it. Sure, I can make a case for a diamond top, but it's not that perfect. That's the problem. It doesn't look that good because if I take these lines to be parallel, we actually okay, sure. Yes. Okay, I can make a case this to be a diamond, as you say, but hmm. Well, okay, it does look like a diamond, but I don't think it's a diamond. The thing is, the reason why I don't think it's a diamond is because we already broke the levels that could have potentially taken us down, and this, in my opinion, puts pressure on further upside into this level before we can see a proper long. And regardless of if this is a diamond or not, this is certainly right now a triangle, which is holding very nicely. So until we break this to the upside or to the downside, within this range, there is nothing confirmed, you know. So pretty much we have to bear in mind that this is a range. The reason I don't like the diamond, while this here is pretty perfect, pretty nice, this over here, like if I draw a parallel line like this, it is pretty nice. What I don't like are actually the two lows over here, because we have something like a triple bottom in a sense. Or if I draw a parallel line over here, the problem with this diamond is this leg and this leg never touched. So the legs to the left side are just not good, and that is why I don't think it's a diamond. Now, I perhaps if you do it like this, but this is maybe overstretching it a bit. I don't know. I don't like the idea of the diamond over here. Doesn't look that good to me. And the series of micro measured move longs is pretty clear, and this is important in my opinion. We traded this long so many times. We traded this once, two target, traded second time and third time. So as long as we are above the 91.5, I see nothing that could signal even any remote downside in the Dow yen. What I would look for is if we are actually able to break the short, this long, I might actually look to reshort all the way halfway back short then. But until then, bias has to be kept on the upside. That is what I'm going to say. And again, if it is a diamond, you only play the diamond on the retest of this thing, because diamonds are actually very low probability trades. Diamonds are the most profitable trades, but the most profitable pattern, but their chance of success is like 30%, if not less. So this is on the Dow yen. Any questions? A very clear bullish structure. We are within a range in a bullish setup. So we are just, it is in my opinion, a wait and see here until we actually break to the upside. And of course the pound is grinding lower. Okay, I'm going to move to the Aussie dollar because the Aussie dollar has a very clear setup and I love it. I love it. This is going to be, in my opinion, our next pretty decent long short, sorry. I am thinking that this is an expanding flat. A, B, over here. Expanding flat is pretty much the most bearish that you can get or the most bullish you can get. So this makes me think that we are going to trade all the way halfway back short from the highs at the 1.316 mark over here. So I think we are going to see a move on the Aussie dollar to the 1.041 level to get heavily short. The Dow yen, just as I'm speaking, is popping higher, which is dragging my euro yen long higher. Um, Expanding flat again looks very good. The reason why I think it is in expanding flat is just because this is a clear 5 wave, this is a clear 3 wave to the downside. I think we are going to make a clear 5 wave to the upside now to the 1041 mark, and this is going to be a pretty awesome level to get short at, in my opinion, if we trade it. Any questions on the Aussie dollar? And the pound is grinding like crazy, while the Dow yen is going crazy as well. Interesting. Well, crazy, not really, but it's up like 15 pips on nothing, so. Any questions on the Aussie dollar, guys? Seriously? To the upside? Okay. No questions on the Aussie dollar. Um, the setup, why I think we are going to trade this halfway back short is pretty clear. We broke the halfway back long from the 1.05s, so we are now set for an ambush short, and the LTO structure looks good. So this is going to be an ambush short, and this is going to be a mistake. So let's see how this goes. And I'm going to vastly check the Euro Aussie, because the Euro Aussie, in my opinion, is going into something pretty awesome. I have a very huge swing on the way with 1,400 pips target. Very small leverage because the stop was 240 pips, but I never trade with such huge stops. But you know, I'm going to make this exception over here. The only thing on the Aussie dollar is that on the Euro Aussie is that this could get a bit tricky in terms of where the neckline actually is. Now, the reason why I love this setup is first, you know, the halfway back over here aligns with the neckline. You guys can see this halfway back aligns with the neckline. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity to go long. Unfortunately, there is also the possibility that we are going to reject from over here, which is also halfway back. I'm waiting patiently for this entry, however. This is also the next in the series. And we had this halfway back over here. Go to targets. And it never pulled into extensions, which means that this halfway back over here is a mistake. So technically, perfectly technical. Now also, if you move to the 15-minute chart, there is a bullish bat, very large bullish bat, which aligns with the 50%. Certainly not the best looking bat, but you know, still very good. You can call me Batman now, like our freaking Prime Minister. This is a bullish bat, guys, with a neckline and a 50% long. This is, in my opinion, the best trade we are probably going to have in quite a while. That is why I am taking it, and that is why I've been waiting patiently to get it, not jumping into anything. You can see the 88.6 is pretty much at the neckline. The 88.6 level of this bat is at the neckline. Also, if you do the BC extension, this is BC. Okay, I'm going to do this, and this. Okay, and you guys can see we are now in the first potential reversal zone within the bat, the second potential reversal zone where is the 50% long, and the test of the neckline is over here. So this is a huge potential reversal zone. I honestly would be surprised if this doesn't trade one way or another. And especially given the fact that I am anticipating a bit more upside in the Aussie dollar, is giving me some confidence that this is going to trade. So more remains to be seen on this front, but I certainly like it, guys. I certainly like it. It looked much better before, by the way. But actually, let's make it look fairly okay. Okay, like this looks fairly okay, And the targets of this long are 1,400 pips. So if I'm able to get in and become riskless, I am going to be scratching. I'm not going to say what for quite a while. Any questions, guys? The pound continues to reject from its short. Interesting. Um, just I am buying the Euro Aussie as a limit buy. The Euro Aussie is a limit buy. The setups depend, not every trade is a limit buy or a limit sell. It depends on the on whether the anchor is confirmed. In the case of the Euro Aussie, this is a limit buy. For example, on the Euro Dollar, well, okay, not the Euro Dollar. On the Euro Yen, most of the levels that we've traded over the past weeks were not a limit buy. You need to get a confirmation of the anchor to actually place limit buy. Just depends on whether the target is confirmed or not. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm doing marketing, but if you want, you can we can set you up with a trial on our site. We have spoke about the system and all those things, like a 3-day trial. You can hit us up an email on support@znsglobal.com. We will set you up with a trial, and you can check that stuff over there, because it will take me quite a while to actually explain the strategy and stuff like that. By the way, it's by no means the holy grail. For example, this week was not the best week. I could have done quite a bit better, but you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles. When it comes to Gartleys, I don't usually trade Gartleys based based only on the Gartley level. I usually do it. It's usually taken upon observation. However, when it comes to a Gartley that is within the halfway back system, then I always take it as a limit buy or limit sell. Че ми свърши синята зона вече? То между другото май не трябва да седиш много. So guys, any questions or should I conclude this webinar? We have covered pretty much everything. We are going to have the site. We are going to upload this webinar soon on the site, even in the free section, since today was a free webinar for everybody. Yeah, my colleague Simeon, who deals with the IT, said that if anybody wants a trial, you know, just send us an email at support@znsglobal.com. So guys, any questions or should I conclude this webinar? Thank you, Jess. Guys, I hope you liked the webinar. I hope it was educational. I hope it was helpful. You know, I'll be honest. Perhaps I'm not the best teacher in the world. Like Alexander is extremely good when it comes to explaining things. I'm still working on that. Of course, we have a different approach to begin with. But I do hope you guys found this useful and you were able to catch something. I have to say that like right now I'm also not in the best condition because I am a bit pissed at myself. Uh, I didn't trade the market in the best way I could have. But you know, that is the way the cookie crumbles. So thank you very much for attending. See you next week. You know, for non-subscribers, you know, if you want to come, you know, every Friday we free webinars. Um, just to shortly, you know, brief you on the site. In the meantime, actually, I should have done this, you know. You guys can just go to znsglobal.com. You can go to the unlocked section. I don't know if you can see it actually on your monitors. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay, you can see it. So you click on the unlocked, you can see a webinar that introduces the site and everything that we offer on the site. And if you click on webinars, you are going to see the free unlock free webinars from prior weeks. So feel free to check that, guys. Okay, guys, I'm concluding now. Thank you for attending, and I will be seeing you next week. Also, for subscribers, I will be sending you emails over the week, so make sure you check your emails. We are going to be setting up some educational webinars. We could actually do them also over the week, so that is why I want to talk with you guys. I'm going to be sending each one of you an email for what time you believe is appropriate. Then we are going to pull the data and see when to do the educational webinar. We are going to do one educational webinar by me specifically and only on harmonic trading, and Alexander is going to do another educational webinar completely and specifically on the halfway back system. We are also going to do one completely educational webinar on Elliott waves and trading, how to trade on Elliott waves with halfway back system. And we are going to do another educational webinar, which is going to be on how to trade the halfway back with harmonics. Again, guys, this is an educational service. This is not investment advice. We offer a pretty solid system, and I think that most of our subscribers that are getting the hang of it are, feeling the power of this system. The biggest plus in this system is that, like I would say, 80% of the chance you become riskless. You very, very rarely would suffer a full stop loss. And that is the real benefit of the system, reducing risk. Very high probability entries to become free. So subscribers, check your emails over the weekend. I am now going to talk shortly with Alexander to compose the email. By the way, this is the time if you have any other requests when it comes to educational stuff that you have to tell me. Само, че Баймони не си ми пуснал правилно СМС. Защото си писал грешен номер. Нищо. Не, значи аз съм пуснал миналия път грешен. Аз съм пускал грешен номер, смята. Да, още не съм. Още 5 минути. Его, ето. I'm just waiting to see because Melinda is typing something. Just want to see. Okay, subscribers, let's tune in on the Skype chat. I'm going to be asking you a couple of things over there, and see you guys.